The 8-pound division, the referee, Mr. Al Robinson from Hampton, South Carolina. In the red corner, representing the East, from Ripley, Tennessee, Richard Bonds. In the blue corner, representing the North and the Army, from Fort Hood, Texas, Denard Trapp.
We're set to go. Round one. Yet another defending champion here at the Olympic Festival. Trying to hang on to that crown, Denard Trapp. He's in the gold. We'll try and use that big height and reach advantage over Richard Bonds. I mentioned Bonds has been around in this division for a while.
Denard Trapp is trying to use that height and reach advantage, keeping that jab in the face of Richard Bonds. Bonds trying to work his way inside. Left hook. Solid left hook.
Bonds is only 22, but he's been boxing on the high level of U.S. amateur boxing for several years.
Bonds got a lucky break. He's a late replacement for Jeremy Williams. Williams, who incidentally had an accident. I think it was a bicycle accident, I believe. And Bonds replaced him. So a good break for him.
It is indeed. Bonds was third in the National Golden Gloves this year. Lost early on to Terry McGroom in the U.S. Championships. So, yeah, he's happy to be here. He also lost to Terry McGroom in the Olympic Festival back in '89 when McGroom won it. Of course, McGroom out of this competition, now upset by John Ruiz. Good hook lands. Denard Trapp trying to get his jab going. Trapp, a 24-year-old from in the Army, stationed in Arizona. Of a number of Army participants. Good right hand by Bonds. So Bonds having himself a pretty decent first round here. Tries an uppercut from way out.
Bonds is far more effective as a counterpuncher. He makes Trapp throw a punch, and then he counters. Like that. Good shot. Good right hand.
Right hand, and that's a knockdown. Wow. That really hurt Trapp.
Trapp did the right thing. He put those hands up. See, that's the way a referee can tell whether or not you can continue. Sometimes it comes instinctively.
He is wobbled. I would think he'd go right after him. Now there's where in amateur competition you can get a break. Just because of that little caution in there, it gave a few more moments to Trapp.
Another 8 count, one more, the fight, it's over.
And I'll tell you, some arguing going on by Trapp because he was landing a punch while the referee was coming in to call the standing 8 count.
Bonds trying to seize this opportunity, right hand. It's been the left hook that's been doing a lot of damage too.
So a big round for Bonds. It'll come to a halt, and it looks like Denard Trapp will hang in there. We move into the second round. Denard Trapp in the gold, our defending Olympic Fest champion. Richard Bonds here for his third trip, hoping to make it a good one. And boy, he made that first round a good one. Had Denard Trapp down once, gave him a standing 8 count, and generally was very effective.
Well, Bonds has proven he is the stronger of the two, and now he's taking the attack. On the attack. A rabbit punch behind the head. The referee didn't see that particular punch.
He is really hurting Trapp with these punches. The power of Bonds becoming really evident here.
Trapp is not backing down. I believe that Bonds is a little arm weary from throwing all those punches. Look at the right hand by Trapp. Now he's hurt.
Now Richard Bonds gets a standing 8. So this one has turned into a wild affair in the light heavyweight division.
This is when Trapp should take advantage of the opportunity because Bonds was a little arm weary, wasn't throwing too many punches because of the assault he put on Trapp in the very first round.
And now Richard Bonds really reduced to winging right hands. And I think you're right, Ray. A little arm weary at this point.
Trapp trying to get that right hand through. He's doing the right thing, Al. He's throwing his left jab first and setting his man up.
Right hand gets there again by Trapp.
Every time he throws his jab, he follows up with the right hand. There, well, that wasn't a clean blow.
And there's an example of what you talked about, the jab and the right hand by Trapp. But the left hook gets in by Bonds. So here in the second round, things have gotten a little wild. We're more than halfway through the round.
Both men need to settle down a bit because they're missing some unnecessary and very good punches here.
You're right. That's a very good point. They're missing when they don't have to miss.
They really don't have to miss, but they both are over anxious now because they both were able to hurt each other and give each other an 8 count.
The jab and the right hand, that is the answer for Denard Trapp, no matter what the question is.
Trapp seems the more composed of the two. He's taking his time far more than Bonds, and he's landing his right hand.
Well, he should always, Trapp, take a step back and just start everything out with that jab and then throw the right behind it instead of getting into a slugfest with Bonds.
At this point here, anything can happen because both men are just swinging wildly. So whoever's open for a punch, you see that left hook thrown by...
Did you say swinging wildly? I guess. Richard Bonds showing a little desperation. Under a half minute left to round 2. And as good as round 1 was for Bonds, that's how good round 2 has been for Denard Trapp.
Very good comeback by Denard Trapp.
So Bonds will get through round 2 just as Trapp got through round 1, but just barely. Against Richard Bonds, who has been a veteran of this division, has not won this Olympic festival, has had a hard time winning any major championship, though he has been right there on the cusp several times, and he's hoping maybe this third round will help get him to this championship. And we would remind you that with the electronic scoring, it's not round by round, it's the number of blows you end up landing that are counted by the judges at ringside. They count each blow, it's fed into a central computer, and if 3 of the 5 judges agree within a second of any point of a punch being landed, that will be a punch that will go into the corner of a specific fighter.
The mistake that Richard Bonds in the blue made was when he hurt Denard Trapp, he sat back to admire his work, and all of a sudden, Trapp reciprocated and put his man in trouble. There's our right hand again. Look at the jab of Denard Trapp. It sets everything up.
It does, and they want Bonds to use his jab more. They told him in between rounds, they told him to settle down. He has settled down somewhat. And of course, one of the ways you negate, oh, good hook. One of the ways you negate a man that has a good jab is by using your own.
That's so true, Al. And watch the concentration of Denard Trapp. Keep his eyes on his man, on his target. Bonds getting a little wild here.
And the left hand's so low for Bonds, that's why the right is getting in after that jab by Trapp every single time. Big hook by Denard Trapp.
And Bonds is starting to back away now, which gives more confidence to Denard Trapp.
Right gets there by Bonds, but Trapp has been doing most of the landing. However, Bonds stuns him with a right hand. Under a minute left to go in what has easily been our most action-filled bout of this Olympic festival. Light heavyweights battling for the right to meet John Ruiz in the finals.
Very good instructions from the corner of Denard Trapp. Both hands, combinations.
they're both a little tired, and why not? With a half a minute left to go in the spout, they have thrown and landed a lot.
Lead off left hook by Denard Trapp. Right hand.
He has more left right now than Richard Bonds, a lot more, it looks like.
This is when this counts pretty much, when you have your man backing away and you throwing punches.
Trapp a little wild on the inside, big uppercut. Richard Bonds trying to throw the right hand, not much happening from it.
Good fight, great fight. Look at when the audience responds.
Much of this crowd on its feet, and why not? A splendid effort by both these young men. Denard Trapp coming back from the brink of disaster, perhaps, to move ahead in defending his crown.
Well, as Al Bernstein mentioned, a real action fight, maybe the best of the competition so far. When we come back, the decision. Now the bottom line is fight. Let's go to Al Bernstein and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, this fight did go back and forth a couple of times. It started in the first round when it was Denard Trapp who was on the receiving end of a standing 8 count, Ray.
Well, it was Bonds who thought he had this fight in a hole, but all of a sudden, it was Trapp who all of a sudden came back. He weathered the storm here in the very first round, and now, after 2 standing 8 counts, it was Trapp who's on the attack. He lands with that big right hand, and Bonds just well, Bonds trying to retreat. And there, the referee steps in to give an 8 count.
So, an ebb and a flow to this match. Let's find out who won it. Let's go to our ring announcer.
In the 178-pound division, the winner on points 39-38 is in the blue corner, Denard Trapp.
Well, the margin of 1 point got a gasp from this crowd. But whatever, Denard Trapp, the winner in an exciting light heavyweight match. And yes, he will move on and have a chance to defend